In this video, I'm going to show you what launching your first site on Conveyor will look like. When you first log in, you will be brought to this server screen. You currently don't have any servers, so the first thing you're going to want to do is create a new server. You need to choose a server provider. Right now you can choose Linode or DigitalOcean. I'm going to go ahead and use Linode. You need to give Conveyor access to your Linode account. This just allows us to create servers for you. We're going to give the server a name. Right here, I'm just going to give it a name, production ready server. Choose a location and choose the size of my server. Once that's done, you're prompted with your sudo password and your database password. In this case, I'm just going to copy the database password as I'm going to delete this server afterwards. Once you're done with that, we're brought to the server page, and it just waits for the server to start and then begins provisioning the server. This is actually a great time to go and configure our DNS while we wait for the server to provision. So the first thing we're going to do is grab the IP address. I'm going to go to my DNS settings on Namecheap for the website I'm going to create, and I'm going to create an A record that points to this server. Now we just have to wait a little bit for the server to finish configuring. It sets up all the web services, Nginx, WSGI, and then once that's done, we can create a database for our website. At this time, we can go and enter the IP address in, and we can see that Nginx is running on our server. We can also try the domain and see that that also just gives us the default Nginx page. Okay, now we can add a site. So we need to connect Conveyor up into GitHub. So just allow access for the Conveyor app and then select the account. And then from here, you can give access to all your repositories. In this case, I'm just going to give it access to one. From there, we're going to go back into the add a site page, and we're going to enter in the domain name that we're going to use for this website. Select a Django site, and then choose the repository that we want to use from the list. From here, you can select the branch that you want to use, the WSGI file, you can select a requirements file, and you can select the settings file. Now we can edit the deploy script. It has a couple things in there by default for Django, but for this website we also need to add a couple of npm commands. Save that. And then we can add a couple of environment variables. I'm just going to copy and paste these over. We have the database password and the secret key. From here, you can deploy the site. Once you click the deploy button, you can check the status in the events section. The general process that Conveyor is going to go through here is to pull your code from your repo, create a virtual environment, and install all your dependencies, and then run your deploy script. The first deploy can take a little more time because you have to install your project dependencies. After that, it should be faster. Once that's done, we can go ahead and check the status of our website. If we reload the page, we can now see that our website comes up. While our site loaded fine, it's not secured over SSL yet. We can check this by looking in the address bar and seeing that it says not secure. We can fix this very easily by going back into Conveyor and clicking the Enable SSL button. This should complete rather quickly. We can then go back to our website and now load the HTTPS version of our site. We can see that this works. The other thing this will do is direct all non-HTTPS traffic to HTTPS, as you can see here. That's what launching your first site on Conveyor will look like. If you want to update your site with any changes you've made, simply click the deploy button again. That wraps up this overview of launching your first site on Conveyor. If you have any questions, please email info@conveyor.dev.